Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching The Ladies Club. Thank you for joining us as we bring you another exciting episode of the leading women's sports talk show in Mzansi. My name is Valen Kirtley.
And greetings to you, Kolapeng. We welcome you to the show that celebrates trailblazers and game changers when it comes to Mafumahadi Arnadi Babadi, Muemotle Nali Bisolaka Kilabahamutswedi. And as you know by now, we are all about profiling women that are champions in sport. And of course, you at home are welcome to join in the conversation. Ko social media platforms SABC at Valen Kirtley, at Sport at SABC at Lebo Mutswedi, and usebedise hashtag Yaruna Eling, the Ladies Club.
So today we're going to shine the spotlight on women who have turned adversity into opportunity. Winning in life becomes more difficult when you have the odds stacked against you, and the road to success may not be as easy as you envisaged. When the odds are stacked against you, you have two choices. Basically, you evolve or die. The strong evolve and become more skilled and more adaptable and more flexible. Well, some others would rather complain and just give up. Today we chat about women who have faced their challenges head-on and become champions in their game. I cannot wait to start speaking to our game changers today.
Absolutely. But let's, before we continue with that, look at some of the leading stories where the SA Football Association is currently preparing to meet government in the next couple of weeks to finalize the bid for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. South Africa is one of the countries to have expressed their interest to host a spectacular event and have until the middle of next month to submit their bidding registration to FIFA. Now, SAFA needs government support in place before they can submit their completed bidding registration documents. And there's so many countries there. This is the largest pool, in fact, that we've seen in terms of the countries wanting to host that Women's World Cup, because women's football is on the rise.
It certainly is. The popularity of the game is unprecedented. We've seen it grow over the last two editions. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in France, because we're going to see that popularity continue to grow. And wouldn't it be neat? We have the Netball World Cup in South Africa for the very first time on the continent, and then getting the Women's Football World Cup on the continent for the very first time.
Now,
No, I'm just saying we should do it.
Absolutely. Now, before we move any further, let's get going with our discussion. We like to set the tone with an inspiring quote, Valen, and it says, women are as capable as men, and this need to be the focus of our education, that women can be whatever they want to be. And that's by the popular DJ, that's DJ Zintle.
So DJ Zintle stepped onto the local DJing scene at a time when it was still heavily dominated by men, and quickly managed to turn some heads with her crazy skills on the decks. Today, she's one of the best house DJs in the country.
Absolutely incredible. She's always knew that she wanted to work in the entertainment industry, and initially trained to be a TV presenter. Her first big break, of course, was with SABC's popular dance show Jiga Majika, and she has since received so many accolades, including being named the Glamour Magazine Woman of the Year in 2016.
I love it, and I love her quote, because we shouldn't treat any sector as being exclusive to just one gender. And I think that that's true across the board if we want to move forward into a more equal society.
I think we're getting closer and closer to that, where equality is more important than a gender-based strength that you have or possess, because there's nothing like that. Mentally, we're all the same. It's just the physicality that's really different.
You know, we were speaking about women's football a little earlier on. The world champions, USA women's football team, they filed a lawsuit against their national federation to say we want equal pay. And that's something that's really great, because you see movements like this, you see activities like this getting a lot of support, and that's what we really need. We need physical change in order for things to really
And I like the fact that after that, the brand editors came back to say, for that, ladies, we're going to pay you the same amount of money as what we paid for the Men's World Cup. So kudos to brands like that also coming on board to say, we see your struggle, we see your cries, and we're going to pay for it.
Although I would really like corporate South Africa not for it to get to lawsuits or to have to be pushed by policies. Actually, not only corporate South Africa, but corporate around the world. Just understanding that equality is what we have to do. It's just normal. It should be the new normal. Okay, we're off for a quick break. Then we're going to start chatting to our game changer, who's already in studio. They call her DJ. Is she good on the decks? I wonder. We'll continue this conversation after this.
Welcome back. Please join the conversation on social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter. We'd love to hear your comments because we do have an amazing guest in studio.
I told you I was excited, and so is Lebo. Our game changer today is in studio. Palesa Manaleng is on the couch. We'll be chatting to her about turning adversity into opportunity. She's the national H3 paracycling road race and time trial champion. She's also a second-year public relations student from the University of Johannesburg, and she's got a beautiful, all-conquering story to tell.
Let her tell it. Palesa, welcome to the Ladies Club.
Thank you.
Good morning. It's really a pleasure to have you in studio. People are seeing you on a wheelchair now,
Yes.
but there is quite a journey that led to where you are. And we'd like you to unfold it for us. Take us back to that cycling accident that happened back in 2014.
2014, yes. So I woke up in the morning, went for a jog, came back home, took my bike, Dolly. I named my bike after Dolly Parton. I named all my
Long story short.
Yeah. And I went cycling down a road called Manmouth in West Dean, near the UJ Rugby Stadium. And I was going down a steep hill. The brakes of my bicycle failed. I hit a pavement, flew into a palisade wall, dislocated my spine, broke trips, punctured a lung, fractured a shoulder, and sustained a head injury. I'm a complete paraplegic now. T9, T12, so no movement, no feeling from belly button down. Yeah.
And how long did you spend in hospital after that accident?
So hospital and rehab combined. So from September 10 to December 31st, that's when I got discharged, on the 31st of December. He said, you can go home now.
From September to December.
Yep.
You were a runner. You were a provincial goalkeeper back when you were at the age of 12 from Mpumalanga. You were active. You did the 10Ks. You played hockey. And then transitioning from that mentally to now, I cannot move. I can't stamp. I can't help myself up.
You know what? It wasn't easy. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, no, it wasn't easy. It took time. It took a lot of battles in my head. It also needed for me to push people out of the way. Because every time when you become differently abled, people want to treat you like an egg. You're like, oh my gosh, you're going to break.
Yeah.
And then you don't learn and you don't get stronger. So I had to tell my mother, stop coming to see me.
Wow.
It was hard for me. It was probably harder for her, but I had to do it for me. You know, I had to.
It would have been easy for her.
I had to tell my grandmother, who also raised me, I can't see you. You know, I had to go through the motions. I refused to go home after hospital. So when I got discharged, I went to my own place in Joburg instead of going home to Witbank. And my mother.
And you were alone?
I was alone. And my mother was like, so, Wanaka, I'll handle it. You know, because in my head, if I went home, it meant I'd be put under a tree with a blanket over my legs.
Because you know how they do it back at home.
I grew up in the hood. I know Kasi life. You know, they carry me in and out. I mean, how many houses in the township have ramps?
No, I've never seen one.
So I was like, I'm not going to be carried up and down. You know, I'm going to figure it out. And the first 3 days on my own, I fell. I was transferring from my wheelchair to the toilet, and I missed the toilet. I missed the base, so it's my head, and I landed on the floor. And I landed on the floor, and I spent 3 days on the floor trying to figure out how to get from the floor to the chair again.
3 days?
Yes, because I was going to ask for help until I'd figured out how to help myself.
Yes, I know, Stabon. Yes, sir. I know, Stabon.
So once I finally couldn't take it anymore because I was dehydrated, you know, and I was weak. I finally took my phone, and I was living in a cottage at the back of the yard. So in the front of there was a group of guys there. So I called them, I was like, Vince, I need your help. And they're like, but you locked the gate. And then they jumped the fence, because I'd locked the gate as well.
Oh, my.
You're so dramatic.
And they came in, and they helped me into my chair. They were so upset. Like, for 3 days, we thought maybe your parents came and fetched you. Maybe you were. I'm like, no, I was here. I was trying to figure out how to get back into my wheelchair. You know? And so that was my first lesson. Then I had to figure out, okay, actually I need to buy a two-step. They have them at the hospitals. The doctors have them, so you can step
on
and
the
sit
bed. Yeah, those ones.
I use that to lift my upper body up, climb to the bed. It took me time as well, so I figured if I'm going to use that thing, then I had to go to the gym. Luckily, I've always had weights because I used to weightlift as a child, so I had the weights.
Because your upper body has to be stronger.
Yeah, so I started weightlifting. again in the house, and I started waking up at 6 in the morning, pushing up and down my street to train, because I wasn't part of any clubs.
But you were only in your everyday wheelchair.
Yeah, maybe I'd fall out and people in cars would stop and help me, because also I don't have stomach muscles, so I was weaker then. So I'd lean too forward and I'd fall out of my chair. Some person in the car would stop and help me in. And, you know, so you learn. You have to learn to take care of yourself. That was my mission. I just kept on saying to myself, no matter what. I was not going home. So
were you always
stubborn
and I suppose hard-headed about what you wanted to do?
Yeah. No, as I've been. I mean, when I was growing up, I played all these sporting activities.
Yes.
And my father would not support it. It'd always be like, these sports.
Yeah.
These are for your brother. I only have one brother. We're 4.
Yeah.
We 3 girls and a boy. And my brother doesn't know how to play soccer. But my dad insists that sports is for guys. So, and he wouldn't buy me soccer boots. So I go play soccer barefoot. You know, he'd only buy me the hockey equipment because the school required that to play, you know. He'd shout at me for going to go weightlift, but I'd still go weightlift, so I'd always do what I want to do, no matter what, because I wanted to play sports. And so now I'd said I don't want to go home. It meant I wasn't going to go home. And there was no way I was going to call my mother and say, Ishma, I was wrong. No. You know, I'm an adult. Oh, I was 27 years old at that time, you understand? And I'd lived out of my mother's house. Imagine that freedom and going back to the Obieka 6.
Before the sun set.
Yeah, that's there. I couldn't.
But now tell me, because I did speak to you, I know away from this platform, I spoke to you, and what I know is the fact that in a very short time, you then started wheeling yourself on the actual road as if you were a pro, but you didn't know what you were doing, and you thought, okay, I need to just get stronger.
I'd wheel, I'd push, because I live in West Dean. So I'd push from West Dean. I used to live in 2nd Avenue, from 2nd Avenue to Campus Square. Get to Campus Square, sit. I was so exhausted.
How far, for those that don't know, how far in terms of distance, how many Ks?
I'm not sure how many Ks it is.
3 kilometers, okay.
But it's also hilly in that area.
Yeah, it is.
So
you have to take the in route, because you can't take the main road, because buses don't see you. Taxi drivers don't care. People on cars are on their cell phones, so you have to use the inroads.
And what was the mission when you were doing this?
I want to get fit and I want to play sports. I didn't have sports equipment, but I want to play sports at the time.
So most people, having been as active as you were as a young child, get into this terrible accident while you were out cycling, while you were actually training. Did it ever cross your mind, you know what, this sport thing has caused me enough trauma. I'm putting it on the back. I'm putting it to the back. I'm going to rather focus on something else. You
know, for me, sports has always been my freedom. You know, if I had to choose between breathing and sports, I'd choose sports. If that's a choice. I've played sports my whole entire life. And when I was in trouble, I'd run to sports. I was never great academically, so when I get frustrated in class, I'd go to hockey practice or swimming and take out the frustration. And so when I had my accident, it was only natural for me to turn to sports. It didn't make sense. When people are like, go to therapy, I'm like, and do what? Sit down, talk to a person who doesn't understand what I'm going through?
Yeah.
Go cycle. Go to the gym, weightlift, and that's what helped me. I didn't believe, and I still don't believe in sitting down and talking to strangers about my problems. I believe in doing something about them, which is, for me, is taking part in sports.
So you found your freedom in sports again?
That's where the freedom is.
Where does this strength, mental strength, come from?
Once you start winning the battles in your head, it becomes easier. Because I met a lot of people, when you become differently abled, you meet other differently abled people. And people will be like, didn't you go through depression? I was like, I didn't go through depression. I went through anger, yes. I was very upset that I could never walk again. That upset me. I mean, one day you wake up, you go for a cycle and you can't walk again. You know, I was very upset that every time I need to go to the shop, I have to ask someone to pass me something. You know, that when I'm in a mall, people can just grab my wheelchair and be like, oh, you think you're pushing slow? Can you help you push faster? Hello.
I'm quite okay with this, with the pace. Yeah.
So, you know, but I was never depressed. And I think it's because of the sports.
Sure.
You know, and because of sports, I found also, I really learned how to be happy again. You know, it's hard to be upset when you're cycling 90 Ks or you're cycling from Pretoria to Cape Town. How can you be upset? You know?
Wow.
Whoa, Palesa Manaleng, I told you we were excited about this conversation. We're going to continue the conversation with our game changer when we return.
Even if we had to end the show now, I would be satisfied.
But we're not. We've got
no,
some more time.
no.
We've got some more time. So stay with us, please, because we've got more of this conversation coming your way.
Welcome back. You are tuned to the Ladies Club. Mona mokanaleng ya bobedi mwe e motle re ntse re bua le ena he game changer ya rona. I think a game changer, ke trailblazer, ke motivational speaker, ke tsona kaofela in one. Palesa, you've heard her story in the first segment of the show, but I like the fact that she says she's differently abled. Every time you've spoken, I've noted twice.
Yeah.
You never say as a disabled athlete or a differently abled.
Because to say disabled means that I have no power over anything. That's how I see it. But when I say differently abled, I'm saying we all have different abilities.
Yes.
You understand? You might be great at maths, might be great at geography, I'm great at cycling. Different abilities, differently abled.
Who inspires you? Because I know that you want to do the Paralympics, and
Yes.
that is one of your big goals.
Yes.
It is something that you're working towards. Tokyo is just a couple of months away
Yeah.
now. Gee whiskers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are going to be there.
So what? So who inspires you? Are there Paralympic athletes? Because we've got loads of really good role models here in South Africa.
You got great Paralympic athletes. Love Kotatsa. Not because she's my friend, it's because she's my friend. Yeah, you know, she's very supportive. She inspires me. Love her. Geez.
Another stubborn one, just by the way. Yeah. Same WhatsApp group. Yeah. Same
My
WhatsApp
page.
group. Yeah. I see it. That's how.
They make them tough there.
Yeah.
They make them tough there.
Very
Limpopo,
cheers.
you know.
Hard-headed, cheers.
Yeah, so actually, every single female athlete inspires me because I know how hard it is to be a female athlete in the world, in South Africa. It's as if you have to work double the time just to get that little recognition, you know. So they inspire me, from Banyana to Caster Semenya to Hotatso, you know. They're all, when I watch sports and I read on Twitter or wherever and I see them succeeding, I'm like, yes.
People say that being a physically disabled or differently abled athlete, you face discrimination on two levels because you're a woman and then you are disabled. And then there in South Africa, there's the color of your skin, being a black South African woman in a wheelchair. So there's like this triple discrimination and triple challenge that you have to overcome. Do you feel that? Do you?
Yes, it's as if you have to be sort of superhuman to get recognition or to be given opportunities when you're a black, differently abled athlete. You know, no one is gonna, you're not allowed to try. You know, every other athlete can try, but I'm not allowed to try. I must make it happen, which is unfair. You know, because you must consider the background. You must consider, and I said background, I'm not just talking about apartheid. I'm talking about the fact that differently abled kids in townships don't get the same opportunities as differently abled kids in other areas. Daycare, how many kids in townships have the daycare? How many of them know about the sports? How many of them are exposed to sports? How many of them go to schools? You understand? So you have to work double, triple. You know, you can't just, when you see a differently abled kid, a child of color, making it, you must know that person worked hard to get where they got.
Why did you decide on cycling?
The freedom. Nothing beats being on the open road with the sun beating on for hours on end. You know, the 947, I'm a shover.
That's you there.
Nothing beats that feeling of struggling to go uphill, getting up the hill and flying down the hills. And the straights where you just pump. And because in South Africa, the competitions, there aren't a lot of competitions for differently abled people.
Yeah.
There's the national championships and there's the provincials. And then the rest are for able-bodied people. And to compete against able-bodied people and beat you guys.
Yeah. It's nice.
I'm sorry. It's just like, guys.
Like, really? You got legs, dude. What's the problem? What's the problem?
You know, so I love the races like the 947.
Yeah.
You see people getting off the bikes and they're pushing them and they're walking up.
And
like,
here you are,
on.
just like, come on. So what would you say would be the highlights? Because you are the national champion 2018 and 2019. Highlights of your career, most outstanding moments of your career.
Competing in the World Cup.
Yes.
That for me. Yes, the other countries were faster than me. I don't care. I was there representing my country, you know, trying to catch up to Russia and Germany, looking on the list, the UCI list, and seeing myself as number 8 in the world out of 28 countries. I'm like, we're going somewhere, kid.
Wow.
We're getting there. You know, it's a process, but we're getting there. You know, and just to be able to say, we're doing this.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Sure.
Have you got a speedometer on your bike?
Yes.
What's the fastest that you've gotten?
I'm scared to
downhill.
ask.
I mean, I have to know now.
No, downhill you can do a good 80 Ks.
Sure.
And the bike goes, vibrates a bit. And you feel like you're going to flip, but you don't flip. And you want to brake, but you don't brake.
80 kilometers.
What's wrong with you?
That's why I'm here.
No.
Well, talk about living on the edge, hey? Okay, so now I need to know, where did the nickname DJ come from?
I used to play soccer. I was a striker. I used to have the moves. You know, back in my days, I used to play for a team called Angels FC in Witbank. You know,
so that explains why you were at the All-Stars, inaugural All-Stars games with the former players, current players and future players of South African football.
Yeah, just to support the girls. You guys are doing great, you know. So yeah, I played soccer for quite a long time. I started with street soccer, of course, where the boys wouldn't allow me to take part in the street soccer games. So they have a punch out, then I'd play. You know how it is. then they start
just a random fist fight, you know, like, as it happens every single day.
And we start having fights amongst each other. They allow me to play when they start to see actually I can play. Yeah. You know, yeah, and then yeah.
Okay, so you're a very good striker. Was there a love for music there as well? I
love music. I still love. I listen to anything.
Favorite song right now? Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
What was I listening to? Avicii, Addicted to You.
Ooh.
I'm addicted to you.
And the music video alone.
Okay. Okay, we're on the same page. I know the song. You know the song. Everybody else that's at home, you know, we question ourselves so much. Here I am with legs, with toes. I'm perfect, but every day I beat myself up and say, I'm not perfect. And then there's those that been in accidents and now they can't lift themselves up to say, get on that chair and keep it moving.
Well, for me, is the first and most important thing is you need to look around you and see who's bringing you down. Cut them out.
Just like that?
Cut them out, or you'll kill yourself. Yeah. And we don't realize that as people, that we allow other people to bring us down. Oh, you're in a wheelchair. What now? Oh, now you must get disability. Cut those people out, you know.
Even if it's your mom?
Cut them out.
I'm with you. I'm with you, yeah?
Poison is poison. Whether they gave birth to you or not, poison is poison.
There we go.
It is the way it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
So find something that you love, that you can do. If you love listening to music, listen to music. If you like playing sports, play sports. Surround yourself with people who want to move forward in life. They don't necessarily need to be in sports because you're in sports. They could be doing other things. But people who want to move forward in life. And moving forward in life does not mean buying a brand new car necessarily. It can mean that tomorrow they want to read a book that they've never read. So mix with people who are progressive. Pace yourself. Don't compare yourself to a person who's been in a wheelchair for 20 years and say, oh, you know, this guy can do wheelies. I should be doing wheelies because I'm in a wheelchair for 5 months. Pace yourself. You know, we like to compare ourselves to other people as human beings. It's a downfall. You know, laugh a bit, man. Don't take things so seriously. You know, on a daily basis, I get people who make jokes about my disability. But if you make the jokes first, so
you got jokes on us, I'm pretty sure, right now.
I just say, you know, you need to enjoy. Sure. I enjoy my disability, you know. And that's a weird thing to say, but I enjoy it. I have fun. You know, I wheel down the mall and I speed. I don't get to stand in lines in banks because I'm in a chair. I don't know about you guys.
Wow.
You know? So enjoy it. Wow. Because this is where you're going to be.
Wow. Palesa, Deejay, Manaleng.
She
is a game
incredible.
Changer today. Wow.
I have no words. She is. If you're not inspired to get up and keep it going, and whatever negative energy you have around you, cut it out. I don't know what else you got. You need more than just Palesa. I don't know. I have nothing for you.
Yeah. Remember that greatness is earned. It's never, ever given. Thank you for being our game changer on the Ladies Club. We'll meet again next week. Let's do it again. Bye-bye.